Hi, everyone. I'm Gerard Porter, and I want to thank you for tuning in on today. I wanted to share with you briefly my experience of hosting my first webinar on Google Plus Hangouts. Recently, on August the 16th, I conducted a workshop through my enterprise, the Eagles Camp LLC, called Connect the Dots, a workshop for entrepreneurs, dreamers, and visionaries to help those attending to put the pieces of their vision together, to learn how to overcome obstacles, and to do some networking. And so a few people asked about doing an online version, or would it be available online? And I said for that particular event, no, but a few weeks later we would be planning to do something online, and so decided to do a webinar through Google Plus Hangouts, and so had scheduled it for August the 31st, 2014 at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so I was preparing for the webinar, just making sure that this things were ready to go. But I think I may have been a little bit panicking because when I sat down to begin to start the broadcast for the webinar, I started 30 minutes earlier than my intended scheduled time. So I encourage you, as you are doing live broadcasts, to make a mental note or write it on a piece of paper, or just to go back and look at your reminders, because my phone sent me a reminder that it was for 6:30 p.m. my time in California, but for some reason I thought it was 6 p.m., ignored the reminder, and just went for it. And so I didn't realize that I started 30 minutes early until I was into doing the webinar. So I did not panic. I just continued to go forward. We had a set time scheduled for an hour and 30 minutes. So I walked through my talk and a discussion of what I wanted to present to my audience. And then number two, after I finished the webinar and going back through it, there was one thing that I noticed that really got my attention, which was I used a PowerPoint presentation for my webinar. And as I was going through my PowerPoint presentation on my end, as I'm looking into the camera, my PowerPoint slides were transitioning for me. So we're going from page to page to page. But as I was looking at the playback that the viewer would see, it was only showing the first page that I started out with, and I didn't understand. I thought I was doing everything right. I used the share screen button that was to the left of the Hangout window, and I thought everything was working fine. And so I did not panic. I was a little bit alarmed, but felt led to not delete the video. I reached out to Google Plus Hangout, a help community, to see if they had any tips regarding how to fix that, how to fix the transitioning so that it would show up for the viewers to see that. And then I went to YouTube and I looked up how to use Hangouts for using PowerPoint, and found a video by Penny Turco, who talked about using PowerPoints for Hangout, and then shared her experience of how when she was doing her live recording, how the PowerPoint only stayed on the first page that she started out with. And so the tip that she suggested, I applied. I missed one aspect of what she suggested, but it was able to show the transitioning to the viewer. So I ended up re-recording the broadcast on the next day, September the 1st. I had contacted, my attendee regarding the webinar, explained that what was going on, gave them a solution, said that we would be re-recording the broadcast for the next day. So I want to walk you through, excuse me, what I learned from watching what Penny Turco had mentioned. So Penny, if you ever see this, thank you so much for just sharing your experience, and I want to be able to share my experience to help some other individuals out who may be wanting to use Google Plus Hangouts, or kind of maybe a little bit hesitant for it. But this is all a learning experience for myself, and I hope that you can learn from my experience and my mistakes or whatever, and hit the ground running. So I'm going to walk through this. So to the left of the Hangout window, you should see a toolbar on the left. And you'll see a couple of different icons. The second from the top, below the chat button, which is in blue, is a green screen share button that has an arrow pointed towards the right. So I'm going to click on that screen share button, and I'm going to select connecting the dots PowerPoint, and I'm using a MacBook Pro here, so okay. I'm just waiting for that to finish loading. Okay, it's there. Now in PowerPoint, since I'm using a MacBook, I'm not sure if the Windows-based PowerPoint is still the same setup, but on the toolbar at the top, you'll see a couple of different buttons. You'll see the Home button here, Charts, Transitions, Animations tab, and then the Slideshow. I want you to click on the Slideshow tab, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the icon that says Set Up Show. Okay, now by default, my show type says presented by a speaker and parentheses full screen. But for the presentation, for what I learned from Penny Turco, the PowerPoint needs to be in its own window in order for it to work, for the viewer to see the different transitions. So I'm going to hit, I selected the browse by an individual window, and then I just hit OK. And now in the PowerPoint itself, I'm going to hit the button that says Slideshow to the right, to the lower left-hand side in the PowerPoint window, which you should see. And I'm going to click that, and it's going to cause it to open up in a full view window, its own window. So let's go. We're going to go back here to the screen share button, and I'm going to click on that again. And I'm going to click on the one that has here, it's a PowerPoint slide in the window. It has like a blackout on my Mac. It shows like a black background. And I'm going to hit Start Screen Share again. And now you see my PowerPoint presentation in its own window with a black background. And as I move on my end from slide 1 to slide 2, you should see the transition on your end. So I just went from 1, 2, and then 3. So now the transitioning is working in regarding that. So that's something that I learned. That's something of what I learned in using Google Plus Hangouts for my first webinar. So one was that I started 30 minutes earlier than I needed to, and so I'll be mindful to make sure that I, pay attention to my reminders regarding that. And then now I know how to the better way to use the PowerPoint presentation so that it shows up one full screen in its own window, and then it will show the transitioning to my audience that are viewing. So I hope this helps you out. Please post some comments if this has been helpful. If you have any other questions about Google Plus Hangouts or about recording live and you want to ask that, feel free to post that, and I'll be willing to share the insights that I have received as well. So thank you for tuning in. Hope that you are having a great week, and until next time, take care and have an amazing day.